Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a town called Hamelin. Now, this wasn't just any town. It was a big, cheese-making town. And every summer, the townspeople would leave their windows open to air out their cheese, which also attracted a whole bunch of rats. One day, the mayor went to a nearby village to buy some rat poison, but it was all sold out. When he returned home, empty-handed, the townspeople were furious. "We're overrun with rats!" they cried. "And if we don't get rid of them, they'll eat all our cheese." Just then, a stranger walked into town. He was dressed in colorful clothes and carried a big bag over his shoulder. "I can get rid of those rats for you," he said. "In fact, I guarantee it." The townspeople were desperate, so they agreed. The man walked out into the fields where the rats were playing and started to play a tune on his pipe. It was a silly, happy tune, and the rats loved it. They followed him right into town, right through the open windows and into the and much to everyone's surprise, the rats didn't eat the cheese. Instead, they started to dance. They danced and they danced until they collapsed from exhaustion and were easily captured and taken out of town. The townspeople cheered and clapped. "You've saved our cheese and our town," they told the man. "You can have anything you want." And that's when the man revealed that he was actually a magical piper from a faraway land, and he wanted one thing: to be the town-s piper and live in a big house with an open window, so he could play his music whenever he wanted. The townspeople agreed, and the magical piper moved right in. But after a few days, some of the townspeople started to get tired of the piper's music. Every morning, he would play the same happy tune, and it started to sound really boring. Plus, they couldn't stand to have their windows open anymore, because the piper's music was keeping them up at night. The next day, the mayor went to tell the piper that he had to stop playing during certain hours. But when he got to the piper's house, he found a note on the door that said, "Be at the town square at noon." The piper! Confused, the mayor went to the town square, along with all the other townspeople. When the piper arrived, they all started to complain about how loud his music was, and how they needed some peace and quiet. The piper listened patiently until the mayor told him that he had to stop playing altogether. "I'm sorry," said the piper, "but that's impossible. Music is my magic. I need to play all the time or I'll lose my powers." "Well, too bad," said the mayor. "It's either that or we kick you out of town." The piper sighed sadly. He had never been asked to stop playing before. He took his pipe and walked away. As he made his way through the fields, he saw the same group of rats playing by the road. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and started to play a brand new tune. It was a sad, slow tune, and the rats loved it. They followed him back to town and hid in the sewers. That night, the townspeople couldn't sleep because the sound of rats could be heard scurrying around in the sewers. And then they started to trickle out of their holes and make their way toward the open cheese warehouses. The townspeople were terrified. "We made a big mistake," they cried. "We should have never upset the piper." But there was nothing they could do now. All night long, rats ran through the streets, stealing cheese and other food, and by morning, they had eaten everything in sight. The town was overrun once again. The piper watched from a distance as the rats carried their food back to the sewers. With a wave of his magic, he made the sewer collapse, trapping the rats inside. Then he walked back into town and played a happy tune on his pipe. And from that day on, he was known as the Pied Piper of Hamelin. The end.